Well, in the last session I have explained what do you mean by thread, handler, looper and message queue, and also how to use the async task, and what do you mean by client server communication. So all those things I have discussed. So in this session let us try to implement our client server communication, or let us try to create our weather details application. Okay, and let us try to get the details from the server. Okay, so I'll create one new application here. I will name it as weather details. Okay, click on next. Okay, I'll keep the activity name as main activity itself. Click on finish. Okay, I will remove this text view here and I will add one button. Okay, I'll change the text like get weather details. Okay, I'll change the ID also, button 1 underscore get. Okay, you can give any ID here. So now whenever user clicks on this button, it has to send a request to server. It means your application has to send request to server, and it has to get the weather details and it has to display it here. Okay, now for this you need one server, right? So from which server it will get the data, or from which application it will get the data. So for that purpose we have one open source weather map or open source application which gives the weather details. Okay, you just go to Google, okay, and type like weather map API. Okay, if not it is open weather map. Okay, you can type open weather API. Okay, so here you will find the link. You can select this. Okay, and in this you will find different options. Okay, see here it is giving the current weather data, okay, in different formats like JSON, XML and HTML. Okay, so let us go with call for one location. See here you can collect the data about different cities also. Let us try to implement only for only one location. Okay, I'll select this. So current weather data, so go down. Okay, here you can find APIs for different format. Okay, can you see this? There are different APIs here. Okay, this one is by city name. You can search by city ID, or by geographic coordinates also you can search. Okay, so now our intention is, let us go with the like XML format. It means you will get the response in XML format. Now if I click on this, see this is the URL. Okay, so whenever you send request to this particular URL, you will get this particular response. Okay, so this is the XML structure, okay, from which you have to extract the data. See here it is showing city, it's a tag, and for that city ID is this one and the name is this one. So it is in a attributes. So now you have to extract this data. So extracting data from this particular format, from XML format, is nothing but your XML parsing. Okay, so from this we can get the data for weather. Now before starting our application, let us understand practically how exactly the client server communication will work. Okay, so in the browser, I will take the browser example and I will show how exactly the client server communication will work. So this is my computer where I have the browser application here. Now if I type Google, okay, can you see this? It is sending request to some place and it is trying to get the response. If not, if you consider this Google itself one application. Now I want to perform, I want to search something. If not, I want to search something like what is called as wonders of the world. Okay, so whenever I type this, see if I I will remove this. Okay, I'll go back. See, this is my main page or main application. See, look into this URL. It is having some URL. Okay, now and if I type this, okay, when I type this and when I click on search, can you see this? It is adding some parameters. See, previously it was only this much. Okay, so after that it has added some parameters, something like words of the world, wonders of the world. Okay, so it has added some parameters here, and based on that it is displaying some content also here. Previously it was showing Google page, now it is showing some something like some links to different pages. Okay, so somehow the content has been changed here. So what is happening here exactly? See, whenever you type something here, okay, and when you try to search, it is sending request to some place, to some software, and it is getting response from there and it is displaying it here. So this is what exactly we have to do in our application also. Okay, we have to send request to some other software which carries the information about weather, and we have to get the information from that application or from that software, and we have to display it in our application. So this is how exactly the client server communication will work. Now what are all the things we need to perform this action? If I consider this web page itself, what are all the different steps I have to follow, or what are the different things I need to perform this client server communication? Okay, as I told, first I need the browser. Okay, I will make a note here. Okay, first I need the browser because I am searching something. If I want to search something, I need a place, I need a software. So that software is called as your browser. So the first thing is I need one client. Actually, this browser is nothing but client. As I explained in my previous session, the software which sends the request for information, so that one is called as client. So here our browser is a client. So the first thing is, if you want to perform the client server communication, we need the client. Okay, now after getting the client, now we have the client, but see this, without this URL, how you will get the data? Means you should know the path, or you should know the location where the resource is present or where the information is present. So that path or that location name or that location path is nothing but your URL. So the second step or the second information what you need is your URL. Okay, then the next one. Okay, as I explained, so previously it was only this much URL. So whenever you have added some content and when you clicked on this search button, so immediately it has added some content here. So this content is nothing but parameters, okay, or added parameters. If you want to add any parameters or search parameters. Okay, search parameters. Now what else we need? We have the URL, we have the browser, but how these parameters are attached to this URL? Okay, there should be one person who can attach these particular parameters to the URL and who can send the data to the server. Okay, so for that, to attach the search parameters to URL, there is one class called as, that is HTTP post. Okay, the person who can attach your search parameters with URL and who can post the things. So this is called as HTTP post. So now we have the client, we have the URL, okay, and we have search parameters also, and we know how to attach our search parameters to URL. So now how to perform the client server communication. So let us see by coding how we can do all these tasks and how to get the response. Now after getting the response, so that a response has to be collected. So to collect the response, you need the receiver, or we can call it as response. You can call it as response. So all these steps we have to follow. I will show step by step in coding. So already we have created the application. So let us go to our main page. Okay, I'll open the source folder. I'll open our main activity. So I will remove this on create options menu. Okay, so inside this, okay, I already have added one button, so I will take the button here. Okay, button, I will name it as btn. Okay, your btn is equal to, it's a button, find view by id or dot id dot. Okay, you have to save the changes. Now it is showing. Okay, end the statement. Button dot set on click listener, new on click listener. Okay, I will end the statement. All these things, all these steps, I think you guys know this. Now when our user clicked on this particular button, in this place we have to perform the client server communication. Okay, so for this the problem is, as I told, if you are performing inside the button click, if this action takes long time, so what will happen? Your application will crash, because if the UI is not responding more than 5 seconds, then Android system will try to close your application. So for that purpose, what I told, we have to do it in a thread. But if you are using the thread, we have to create the thread, start the thread, then if you want to perform the communication between threads, you have to use the handlers. So to solve all these things, what option we have is async task. So I'll create the async task here. Okay, how to create async task means create your class. I will name it as my background task. Okay, it has to extend the okay, we have missed here. It is a public class. Okay, extends your async task. Okay, see, it is asking for 3 parameters. The first parameter is your input parameter. Okay, so I'll make it as void because we won't take any input here. And the second parameter is progress. Suppose if you're downloading something, what will be the progress? If you want to send that progress to the main thread, then what is the type, whether it is a string or whether it is an integer, what type of progress you want to send it to the main thread. So that is your second parameter. As of now, I'll go with the void itself. Okay, and result, after getting the result, what type of result you are expecting. So I'll go with void here also. Now this is the class, but it is showing the errors because you have to add some methods here. So we have added doInBackground method, but as I explained, basically it contains three methods. So the first one is on pre-execute. Okay, then you have the doInBackground. After doInBackground, you have one more method called as on post execute. So these are the basic methods required in async task. There are other methods also, but these are the basic methods. Now what I told, if you want to do some task before starting the background activity, so then that has to be done inside the pre-execute. Suppose if I want to show one progress dialog to the user, then that has to be shown inside the on pre-execute method. So how to show the progress dialog? I will take one progress dialog. Okay, take progress dialog. I will name it as dialog. Now inside your pre-execute, that dialog is equal to new progress dialog. It accepts the context. I will take your main activity context. Okay, then now I want to show some message in this dialog. Okay, dialog dot set message. So the message will be like this: please wait, download is in progress. If not, just I will show please wait. Okay, so now after that you can make it as a cancelable one, means whenever you want you can cancel it. So dialog dot set cancelable true. Okay, so and after that you have to show the dialog. So this is what I want to do in the pre-execute, means before starting the your background process. Now this one is done. Now whatever you have to do inside the run doInBackground, means to download the file or to get the data or to get the information from your server. Okay, what all the action or what all the code you have to write, that has to be written inside the doInBackground. Okay, so as I told, I will refer to my steps. So first we need the client. Okay, so I will take one client here first. Okay, that client will be HTTP client. HTTP client, I'll give the name as HTTP client is equal to new HTTP client. If not, you can use new default HTTP client. Here it is. Okay, I am using the default client. So what is our next requirement? So we need the URL, means resource location. So for that I will take the URL. I will take one string. I will name it as URL is equal to, so what is the URL for getting the information about weather? Here it is. So this is the URL. So I'll paste it here. So we got the URL. Now after URL we need I think string buffer, okay, if not search parameters. Here we don't want any search parameters, because directly if you send the request to this particular URL you will get the data, so you need not to go with the search parameters. So what is our next requirement? We need the HTTP post. So I'll create one HTTP post. Okay, I'll name it as HTTP post is equal to new HTTP post. It accepts one URI, so already we have taken the URI, that is the string. Okay, so now after this what else we need? We need the response, HTTP response. To collect the response we need one variable, so that one is your HTTP response. Okay, I'll name it as response is equal to, now how we will get the response? See, if you want to get this particular page, so what we are doing, we are using the client, that is your browser. In that you are posting some parameters. So in the same way we have to use the your client, that is HTTP client dot, you have to perform the query, that is execute, and here you have to send the post which contains URL and search parameters. So here it is showing one error, keep the cursor there. So it is asking surround with try catch, because there is chances of getting error here. Okay, so remember whenever you are writing a code, if it is showing an error or if it is asking you to add the try catch block, so such type of exceptions are called as checked exceptions. Means already those exceptions are defined, means while writing the code itself it will show you there is a chances of getting the exception here, so please add the try catch block. Okay, so now after this here you will get the response. Now from the response, as I told, the response will be in different formats. Now we have to extract that response. So first let us try to collect that response into a string builder, and after that let us try to parse that response. For that I will take one string builder, if not a string buffer. Okay, string buffer, I'll name it as SB is equal to null. Now after getting the response, from this response I will try to extract the entity, it means extract the data. So I will take one HTTP entity. Okay, I will name it as entity is equal to your response dot get entity. Okay, so after this entity let us try to convert this entity to a input stream. Okay, so I will take one input stream reader. Okay, here it is, input stream reader. Okay, I will name it as IN. Okay, INS is equal to, it is new input stream reader. Okay, and from your entity you can collect the content. So entity dot get content and the statement. So if you have gone through our Java tutorials, you would have understood why we need the stream reader here, because we are converting this object to bytes. Okay, so now after that I will use the string buffer, if not buffer reader I will use. Okay, okay, where it is, buffered reader, I'll give it as br is equal to new buffered reader, and I'll pass INS, that is your string. Okay, why we are doing all this circus here means just we have to convert this response to a particular string format. So that's why we are doing all these things. So now the data is inside the buffer reader. It means you can read the data line by line. So for that okay, I will I'll put one for loop. If not, I will go with the while loop. Okay, I don't want this. While okay, so before that I will take one string here just to compare. String str. Okay, while your string str is equal to get the data from your buffer reader dot read the line. Okay, when this is not equal to null, it means when this particular value, whatever you read, okay, when that is not equal to null, you can say there is some data inside that. So then you can append this particular string to your string buffer. But before that I will create the object for this. String buffer is equal to new string buffer. Okay, so to this string buffer we will try to append the data, means we will read the data from your buffer reader and line by line, and we will add it to the string buffer. That is like your string buffer dot append. Okay, you just pass your string. Okay, so now based on the content which is present inside this buffer, it will loop into while, and it will append all the data to the string buffer, so string builder. Okay, so now after this you will get the data into your string buffer. Now let us try to show this string buffer in a toast message. So for that you can use the post execute method. So here you can put the toast message, toast dot make text, context is your main activity context, dot this. Then you want to show the your content which is present inside the string buffer, but it is inside your doin background. So what I will do is I will take this out and I will add it into your class. So now this string buffer is accessible. So here I will do string buffer dot to string. I will convert that to string and I will show it in a toast message. Toast dot length long dot show. Okay, but here you won't get the parsed data. Instead of that, you will see the data which is in particular format. So after converting that format to string form, so we are showing a message, or we are showing a toast message here. Still we have to convert that particular string to a proper data, so that is called as parsing. So still we have to implement the parsing here. So let us try to check whether this one is working or not. But if you try to execute this application, it will throw the exception, because as I told, if you want to perform client server communication, you need the internet. So you have to add the permissions. So go to your manifest file. Okay, it is, go to your manifest file and you can add the permissions here. Select the permissions, click on add, users permissions. We have to add the internet permission. Here it is. Save the changes. Now try to execute this application, but still look into your code. See, we have written the this async task, but we are not calling that async task. So how to call that? Whenever user clicks on this button, we have to call the async task. So create the object new my background task dot start, if not dot execute. Okay, it is asking for the parameters. We are not passing any parameters. End the statement and try to execute this application. Select the application and run it. So here is your application. So I click on the get weather details. So it is showing the progress, please wait. Okay, can you see the toast message? So here we are getting the data and it is showing in a toast message, but it is not displaying it. Sorry, it is not cancelling this progress dialog because we haven't written code for that. So we will try to cancel this. So go to your code. Okay, in the post execute, after getting the result, you have to cancel the dialog. So for that, dialog dot cancel. Okay, so select the application, run it once again. Okay, it is launching weather details. Okay, here is your application. So click on weather details. So it is sending the request, or it is doing the background task. So whenever the background task is completed, it will show the data and it will close the progress dialog. Okay, so you are getting the data. You can check it out once again. So this is the data. Okay, so now this data has to be parsed. Okay, because it is in a XML format, so that XML format has to be in the, from the XML format you have to extract the data. Okay, like you can check it out here. So whatever the data you are getting is in this format. So from this format you have to extract the ID, then area name, or like latitude, longitude, and also temperature value. Here it is, weather details, temperature value, and what is the minimum value and maximum value, and what is the unit. Okay, whether it is in Kelvin, Celsius, or whatever. Okay, so then also it is showing the humidity value and pressure. Okay, speed, wind speed, etc. Okay, it is giving all the information. You can check it out in your application. It is showing the same XML file. Okay, so from this XML file you have to extract the data. You can check it out here, the same XML file you are getting, but you have to extract the particular data, and extracting the data from the XML file is nothing but your XML parsing. Okay, so thanks for watching.